Think about how long you've been delaying this. How many extensions and chances the universe has given you to pursue your dreams but haven't. Eventually, you need to understand the world you're in, who's in charge, where you come from, and that there's only so much time for you to act. If you don't take action and free yourself, that opportunity will disappear forever. People often want to escape their daily lives by going to the countryside, the beach, or the mountains. You probably wish the same sometimes, but that's unnecessary because you can find peace and quiet within yourself. Your own soul is the most tranquil and interruption-free place you can ever go to. Anything beautiful is beautiful on its own without needing praise. Compliments don't change what's being praised. It stays the same. This goes for everyday beautiful things like objects or art. Does anything truly beautiful require extra praise? Just like justice, truth, kindness, and humility, beautiful things don't need compliments to be better. Can any of these qualities be improved by praise or harmed by criticism? Is an emerald any less valuable if no one admires it? What about diamonds, gold, or ivory? Even simple things like flowers or bushes. Things have no hold on the soul. They have no access to it, and cannot move or direct it. It is moved and directed by itself alone. Your soul operates independently, making its own choices and interpreting external things based on its own understanding. Don't get upset about someone's body odor or bad breath. It's just a natural result of their body. But remember, they have a brain too. Why not try to help them see the issue? Use your own intelligence to gently make them aware of it. If they listen, you can solve the problem together without getting angry. A healthy pair of eyes should see everything without complaining about brightness. A healthy sense of hearing or smell should be prepared for any sound or scent. A healthy stomach should digest all foods equally, just like a mill grinds everything the same way. Similarly, a healthy mind should be ready for anything. If your mind is always worried about how others act or are constantly seeking approval from everyone, it's like having eyes that can only handle pale colors or teeth that can only chew soft food. People act strangely sometimes. They refuse to admire their contemporaries, the people whose lives they share. No, but to be admired by posterity, people they've never met and never will. That's what they set their hearts on. You might as well be upset at not being a hero to your great-grandfather. In a fighting ring, our opponents can punch us really hard or kick us until we are bleeding. But we don't hold it against them or get angry forever because that's what they are supposed to do. We simply watch out for them in the future, not because we dislike them, but to stay safe. We should do the same in other parts of life. Forgive the actions of others and keep a friendly distance without feeling suspicious or hating them. If someone can prove that I'm wrong or see things incorrectly, I'm open to changing my view. I value the truth, and the truth doesn't hurt anyone. What harms us is sticking to our own false beliefs and staying ignorant. You label things you can't control as either good or bad. When the bad things occur or the good ones don't, you blame God or hold a grudge toward those you think are responsible. A lot of our misbehavior comes from using these labels. If we only applied good and bad to our own actions, we wouldn't have a reason to question God or view others as enemies. Are you scared of change? Well, think about it like this. Nothing can exist without change. Even nature is aligned with it. Can you take a hot bath and leave the firewood untouched? Eat food without cooking it? Can plants grow without the seasons changing? Anything important in life involves some form of change. You see, it's the same with you, and it's just as important to nature. Take a good look at the people you want approval from and understand their true nature and thoughts. When you do this, you won't blame those who make mistakes that are beyond their control, and you won't crave their approval anymore. You'll have seen where both their judgments and actions come from. You don't need much to live happily. And just because you've abandoned your hopes of becoming a doctor or scientist, don't give up on attaining freedom, achieving humility, helping others, and following God's guidance. To erase false perceptions, tell yourself, I have it in me to keep my soul from evil, lust, and all confusion, to see things as they are and treat them as they deserve. Don't forget about this natural skill you have. Does the cucumber taste bitter? Then throw it out. Are there thorns in your way? Then go around them. That's all you really need to know. Don't keep asking why do these things exist. Anyone who understands the world will laugh at you, just as a carpenter would if you seemed shocked at finding sawdust in his workshop, or a shoemaker at scraps of leather left over from work. They have a place to get rid of those things. Nature doesn't. But what's amazing about nature is that it takes everything within it that seems useless or old, transforms it, and creates something new. It doesn't require anything from the outside or a place to dispose of leftovers. It relies on itself for everything it needs: space, materials, and labor. Other people's desires are just as separate from mine as their breathing and bodies. While we may coexist and influence each other, each person's free will is in charge of their own choices. Otherwise, the harm they do would affect me directly, and that's not what God intended. Our happiness shouldn't depend entirely on someone else. When someone insults or hates you, take a moment to understand their soul. Try to see the kind of person they are. You don't need to try hard to win their approval, but you should genuinely hope for their well-being. After all, they are your closest relative according to nature. The universe helps them, just like they help you, through signs, dreams, and other means to achieve their desires. To my soul, are you ever going to achieve goodness? Will you ever be as simple, pure, and transparent as the body that holds you? Will you ever know what it's like to possess an affectionate and loving nature? Can you ever be content and be able to control your cravings and desires for people and things to enjoy, or for more time to enjoy them, or for some other place or climate, or for people who are easier to get along with? Instead, can you learn to be content with what you have and accept the present, all of it? Can you convince yourself that everything comes as a gift from God and the universe, that things are inherently good and always will be, regardless of what they decide and have in store for the preservation of the perfect and beauty that creates all things, connects them, and brings together their fragmented pieces to create more like them? Everything that happens is either endurable or not. If it's endurable, then endure it. Stop complaining. If it's unendurable, then stop complaining. Your suffering will eventually come to an end. Always remember, you can endure anything that your mind makes bearable by seeing it as being in your favor to do so. It's either for your benefit or it's just a part of your character. If they've made a mistake, correct them gently and show them where they went wrong. If you can't do that, then the blame lies with you. Or perhaps there is no one to blame. Whether it's atoms or nature, two important things to remember are: 1. I am a part of a world controlled by nature. 2. I have connections with other similar parts. With this in mind, I don't have the right, as a part, to complain about what is assigned to me by the whole system, because what's good for the whole can't harm its individual parts. The whole system only does things that benefit it, a common trait in all forms of nature. Additionally, the nature of the world has another characteristic. It can't be forced by external forces to harm itself. So, by keeping in mind the bigger picture, to which I belong, I'll accept whatever happens. And because of my relationship with other parts, I won't act selfishly. Instead, I'll aim to cooperate with them, directing my actions toward what benefits everyone and avoiding what doesn't. If I do all that, my life should go smoothly, much like a responsible citizen who serves their fellow citizens and follows the community's rules. Characteristics of the rational soul: self-perception, self-examination, and the power to make of itself whatever it wants. Unlike plants and animals whose produce is collected by others, the soul reaps its own results. It can achieve its goals regardless of when its life ends. Unlike activities like dancing or theater that are incomplete if interrupted, the soul fulfills its purpose at any point along the way, saying, "I have what I came for." It observes the world, its surroundings, and how everything fits together. It explores the boundless nature of time, trying to grasp the cycle of births and rebirths that the world experiences. It understands that those who come after us will see the same things, just as those before us saw what we do now. If someone despises you, that's their problem. Your responsibility is to not do or say anything bad back. If someone hates you, that's their problem too. Your responsibility is to be patient and cheerful with everyone, including that person. You should be prepared to help them see their mistake, not out of spite or to show off my self-control, but in an honest and upright manner. As long as we act in harmony with our true nature, accept what the world brings our way, and work for the well-being of others through any means possible, then what can truly harm us? Advice from Epictetus. As you kiss your child goodnight, think to yourself, "My child might die peacefully in his sleep before morning." You might think this tempts fate, but is fate tempted when we talk about harvesting grain, which is just a natural event? We need to master the art of acquiescence. We need to pay attention to our impulses, making sure they don't go unmoderated, that they benefit others, and that they're worthy of us. We need to steer clear of desire in any form and not waste energy on things we can't control. It never ceases to amaze me that we all love ourselves more than other people, but care more about their opinion than our own. Getting angry at something means you've forgotten a few important things. Everything that occurs is part of nature's course, that the responsibility is theirs, not yours. Furthermore, whatever happens has always happened, and always will, and is happening at this very moment, everywhere. What connects one person to all others is our shared consciousness. Each person's mind is divine and comes from the same source. Nothing truly belongs to anyone. Not children, not the body, not even life itself. They all come from that very same source. It all depends on how you choose to perceive things. The present is all we truly possess, so it's essential not to waste it. People ask, "Have you ever seen the God you worship? How can you be sure that God exists?" My first answer is to just look at the world around you. How everything just flows so perfectly in the grand scheme of things. My second answer is that I have never seen my soul either, and yet I revere it. That's how I know God exists, from having felt the universe's power over and over. Honor and revere God. Treat people fairly. Be tolerant with others and strict with yourself. Always remember, the only things you truly own are your body and your choices. Everything else is beyond your control.